Smiling back to camera 2.
No matter where you're from, no matter where you've been, you belong. No matter where you're from, no matter where you've been, you belong. It's more than the music, more than the song, more than the movement, the story of love. Cause we are Broadway in the hood, showing you that life is good. It's more than the music, more than the song, more than the movement, the story of love. We're helping others open doors with help from above. We are Broadway in the hood.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Broadway in the Hood's 10-year cast reunion. Well, let me tell you this. I am super excited to have the one, the only, the queen of Las Vegas and Hollywood and everything else, Miss Sayla Love Washington. Sayla Love Washington, Sayla Love with me here. And I tell you, I am so honored to make the biggest announcement ever. So, a few months ago, God said, get up, fool, and do something.
I love how God talks to you, by the way.
Oh, please. That was good for God. Usually he say other things. But he said, during this time, we have to continue to do something in order to make sure that the arts, to make sure that the story, to make sure that this whole movement as a culture of people is addressed in an artistic way. And unfortunately, you can't do it like you normally do it in the theater. Right. So he said, go back to your background in TV and film. And I said, oh no, that is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And the next day I picked up the phone and I called this young lady right here.
Oh, goodness.
Sayla, it is such a joy to have you, to sit beside you in this context. I'm so excited to welcome the writer of Broadway in the Hood's first short film, The French Defense, Miss Sayla Love.
Oh, my, what an intro. I'm firing my agent. No offense. No, I'm kidding. You are, gosh, you already know. You are too kind to speak all those things. Tori I call him the mayor of this here town because so Broadway in the Hood is celebrating their 10-year anniversary, but Tori has been in the valley and the mountain long before that, just doing amazing things in the community. So I really hope you know that I was honored from the moment that you asked me, and I still am, to be celebrating something so monumental with Broadway in the Hood. It's my pleasure, my honor.
Well, I remember meeting you back when you were in school.
In college.
Might
have been high school.
Might have been. I'm almost sure it's high school because you were with Mr. Connor at LVA.
I was 17 years old.
You were 17, 16, somewhere around there.
Jeez.
You're only 20 now, so.
Oh,
no. No, but
we're going to keep
black
that.
Don't crack.
Right.
But I remember meeting you back then, and I just remember this energy and this spark and this pride that came from you as a black woman, as a young black woman, that I thought was so amazing. Wow. One of our Broadway in the Hood kids, Nakala, reminds me so much of you and the spark that she has, not just for theater and not just for entertainment, but for life, just in general. So I remember meeting you, and then I remember meeting you again at KCEP.
Oh my
Shout out to Power 88 and KCEP.
Yes.
Absolutely, Power 88, the people station here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you for your support. The family.
Oh,
the
my
family.
goodness. Oh, yes.
And I remember following and just watching how God moved in your life, you know, from LVA, Las Vegas Academy, to Power 88, to, you know, Atlanta, to the next thing I know, I'm watching the Star, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know that baby right there.
Wow.
Yes, to all of the things that God has blessed you to do. And keeping up with you on the back end as a writer. Like I'm a low-key stalker. For people that I adore or I admire, I always say, hey, I want to work with you one day. And then they'll never hear from me again. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, just like it happened this time, I'll say, hey, there's something that I have something for you, or there's something I want you to do. And I learned that from Mr. Tyler Perry. I promise you, words can't express how grateful I am to Mr. Perry for teaching me the value of your word, what your word means, and holding fast to that word. When I first met him, many times, many years ago, he said, I have something I'm working on and I'd like for you to be a part. It was like 2-3 years and I didn't necessarily hear anything. And then he called me to do some work for him here in Vegas. And then a couple of more months go by, didn't hear anything. And then he says, I have a small project I'm working on and I want you to work on it. And it was the opening of Tyler Perry Studios, the first African-American studio in the United States owned by an African-American. And so I learned that when you say that to people, that they take it to heart.
Right.
And so when I picked up the phone and I called you,
did.
There was no doubt that there was no one else that could write the vision that God had given me other than you. And so let's talk a little bit about the French Defense.
Ooh, please don't get me misty-eyed on a Friday.
I know that's right.
Because Tori, we've been collaborating for the last couple months, and this has felt like a very, kindred friendship, relationship, creative collaboration, all that.
Absolutely.
But some of the things that you were saying that I'm hearing for the first time is really it's really moving me.
I don't share those things. You don't need to know that when we write. Let's write. Let's get to work.
Keep them humble. No, but I so receive it, and I just boomerang it back to you. It is really, with each thing that I've created since I've been back, it has sharpened me and blessed me with like a network of people, reflections of myself creatively that I haven't been able to see. And the French Defense was so timely, especially with 2020 and all that has happened like this year. Right. We can just go down the laundry list of things. No need to talk about specifics, but we know what 2020 is doing. We know what type of time 2020 is on. But now, such a time as this, where more than ever, we need, artists telling our stories. We need different filters and lenses, literally and figuratively, walks of life. We need people who are in love with black and white, who are in love with the gray area, who are in love with humanity and the full spectrum thereof. And so, yes, now is the time, to fight and mobilize and organize and strategize, all the I's, but it's also the time for creativity. It's also the time to create. And when you called, let me tell you how God works again.
All right.
I was at a place in my life where I had some things that I wanted to accomplish. Some people who had reached out, and said like, I got this coming up, this is coming up throughout the year. And so I'm, you have this conveyor belt of your projects and you're like, okay, that's coming up, but I was really like, I feel like I was being called to do something just a little bit greater, more specific, that dealt with sort of the fabric of what's going on right now. And then I got a phone call from Tori Russell.
So silly.
Then I got a phone call, from you, like speaking exactly to that, saying that, there needs to be a story. I think you showed me the video when you called. You sent a video. It might have been of Floyd. It might have been, I can't remember which one it was.
It was George Floyd.
It was George Floyd. Okay.
And what's crazy is the story was given to me a week prior to.
Yeah.
And before the whole George Floyd thing happened.
Okay.
It was a vision of 4 men, 4 black men. Remember, that's how
that's
how it all started. I said, there's something God keeps giving me, these 4 black men. The story has to be about these 4 black men.
Right.
And then the George Floyd incident happened.
Right.
And I just remember even prior to that. What was it? What was it? I can't remember.
You know what? It's coming back to me now. Thank you, because you saw me struggling. I was like, it was George Floyd. I can't remember what. You showed me the video, and right around that time, I felt like Spirit was very strongly telling me, look at the game of chess and the chess pieces and how they all move. And during this time, especially when it, you know, regards itself to social justice and equality and all that, you know, people are playing different roles. And I said, we need, and people are like, well, everybody needs to move this way. And I'm like, no. The pawns move a different way. The rooks move a different way. All that.
Absolutely. When we started this, right as the whole George Floyd thing happened, I have a young gentleman who has started teaching me chess.
Right.
And we both were on the same page with, wow, this game of chess, life, how it all connects, and how we as Black people see ourselves in this whole game of life, this whole game of chess.
Right.
And so I remember saying, let's go to the church, let's sit down, and let's talk this thing through. And we started to develop this story and be able to connect on such a humanistic level of how the game of chess compares to our lives right now. Even in dealing with not just the George Floyd, not just the Black Lives Matter, but the strength of the Black Queen. The strength of our mentors and those people in the community who really are a part of our lives that help to mold and shape the community positively or negatively.
And are the pillars.
Truly. And are the pillars, absolutely.
For sure.
And we're blessed to have, we have had some and we'll continue to have some in our lives. And hopefully one day we can be that for someone else.
Now listen, that'll be when I'm crowned Black Queen of somebody's community. That'll be a day.
Wow.
You know, but what was interesting to me was that during like our first initial conversations about, you know, the inception, before it even had a name, like the French to Finch just got here. Like it was like untitled script. For like
for Black men.
For a minute. But like our initial conversations, we were just talking about, you know, I told you about the chess analogy and like everything that was going on in my life creatively and personally, there was like a dot in yours. And so I think when this, you know, came, there was definitely, we hit a point where it just was like, oh, okay. It just really came together and the dots connected.
Absolutely. And then the whole, the naming of the characters, Tamir and Bishop and all of those things. And the story itself, just how it unfolded into, you know, we don't want to give too much.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, do we? Because we've sort of danced around the story. Do we want to talk about the story a little bit, like a synopsis? Or?
It's personal. It's heartfelt. I mean, we could go into detail, but I think you guys should just watch it. 2020.
Yes.
Broadway in the Hood will premiere our first ever film, our first ever adventure. And I'm so excited that as we got to writing, and all summer long, Broadway in the Hood has been working with Quantum Arc Media. Hello.
Shout out to Quantum
Arc, who we've been working with the kids, and they've been doing film and TV production all summer long, and to be able to then have them experience on set what it's going to be like, to be able to shoot the film, to be able to, you know, go through the script and dissect it, to be able to know all of those parts and ins and outs is absolutely amazingly wonderful. The lines, the energy, the movement of this script is unlike none other. You know, I mean, just the story is so tight, and being able to have the joy of knowing that we're going to be blessed to bring this to the community, to the world during this time is just,
that's exciting.
It's just absolutely exciting. So I thank you. I thank you so much for giving your heart, giving your soul, because it shows. And you know, the power of the words, I think, is what really helps to make a film successful. And there is no doubt in my mind that the power of the words that we've worked out, that we've put together, that we've placed, is magical.
Absolutely.
Anything else? I
just want to echo and boomerang and just reflect back all the gratitude back to you. Many times throughout our collaboration, I've told you about how much I appreciate who you are in this collaboration, professionally, personally, creatively, because you'll go and you'll create some things with a person or a team, and you'll start to see differences, you know, and you'll start to create a standard, and you'll start to create a, like, okay, this is what I appreciated about this collaboration that was lacking, or like, this is my standard, or moving forward, or even, you know, because I'm all about full circle.
Sure.
What are the things that you even brought to my attention that could help me grow as a professional and as a creative? And so this has been growth for me. This has been challenging in the way that it sharpens my instrument.
Sure.
And it's been fun, and it's been exciting to know that this is, you know, a gift back to the community, and that we actually come from a place that is supportive of things like this at such a time as this. So I'm excited.
And absolutely, putting this production, this movie, we could have put it on the Las Vegas Strip. We could have put it in a hotel and casino. We could have put it anywhere. But we wanted to base it directly in the community that so many people say lack culture, that so many people. There's an art center, there's a theater, there's basketball, there's sports, there's dance, there's life in the Black community.
Absolutely.
And we have to make sure that we show that in the beautifulness that it is, and really be able to have the audience, as they watch the film, take this journey with us.
Yes.
And I believe, I'm almost sure, I'm praying, Lord.
We hope.
From there, we hope that you all will truly enjoy this piece, enjoy our offerings. And thank you so much to everyone who has donated to Broadway in the Hood, everyone who's given of their time, everyone who's ever made a costume, everyone who's, you know, ran a camera, everyone who's done anything for Broadway in the Hood, because it's brought us to this point. You know, I remember starting with absolutely nothing, and now look at God, look at where we are now. And this is just the beginning on this side. On the TV film side, you know, of what Broadway in the Hood is going to do.
I love it.
Thank you so much, Sayla.
Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, love.
All right.
Appreciate you. Let's do this.
All right. Hey, remember, be blessed, be safe, and always wear your face condom. Take it easy. Peace be with you.
No matter where you're from, no matter where you've